Taurus, welcome to your weekly Sidereal Astrology forecast. This is for May 16th to the 22nd of 2016. I'm Athen, and this is for Sidereal Astrology. If you are new to the channel, be sure to check out the link because the signs are different. So Taurus, this week we have a full moon on a Saturday. So as we approach Saturday, there is going to be more of this illumination. And this is a sort of cultivating time this week where we're gaining a lot of momentum, a lot of energy in regards to the stuff that we may have been focused on or involved with over the past couple weeks, but even over the past 6 months. Because every time we have a full moon, it's a culmination of the past 6-month energy. So for you, this is involving your 6th house, which is about your routine. It's about your work. It's about your daily activities. And your 7th house. It's going to be right on the cusp between Libra and Scorpio. Okay, and the 7th house is about relationships. Okay, it's about one-to-one connection. So both of those areas, the daily routine or the work with relationships, are getting this illuminating and culminating energy at the end of the week. So as we approach that, we do have your sun, who recently shifted into your sign last weekend in your 1st house. And so for all of you, should be gaining that energy, I think, cultivating your goals. Maybe getting your physical body moving, getting that momentum moving. And I think you'll feel that shift once your ruler Venus gets into Taurus, which will be about midweek onward, more so, right? Because you guys are coming out of a very spiritual time. It's been a lot of this more reflective or getting that alone time. Mercury is, of course, still in that 12th house, so it's still good to be reflecting on where you can have that space in your life and that presence and deeper connection with your spiritual self, with your psyche. But there's definitely this forward moving energy, right? And happy birthday for those of you who have your birthdays this week. But for all of you, there is this prana energy by getting your body moving, getting your goals in motion, and moving things forward this week. Now, in the aspect grid, we do have a very important aspect going exact next week, which I think we'll start to feel this week. And this is Jupiter squaring up to Saturn. So this has actually already been an ongoing theme, and it's been this slow and steady growth, right? With this, particularly for you in terms of these relationships, and perhaps in regards to your home life or family or your roots or health in some sense. So with the relationships, again, this is a big reflective area because you got both Mars and Saturn retrograde in the 7th. So it's good to be rethinking what your relationships, your perspective on relationships, maybe reworking some partnerships, some contracts for some of you, right? So that's excellent because what Saturn's helping you do here from the interrelationship level is helping you learn more about patience in relationships, maybe maturity, that grounded approach. And I think you guys are learning a lot about that, and also how to be direct and independent in relationships, which is also that Mars. So things are unfolding and things are certainly being built with your relationships, but it's in this slow and steady way, right? And that's been the square energy. But you should be seeing the opportunities. You should be seeing what's possible, but having that self-limitation in terms of long-term cultivations versus short-term ones. I mean, you can still have short-term ones, but it's about the long road with Saturn. So that's involving the relationship sphere. Now, in terms of the home and family, which is the other side of this, or your health, there's been this forward-moving energy now. You've had Jupiter go direct here last week. You've had the North Node recently enter into here this year. So it really is the time for you to be cultivating your roots. It's a good time to be putting energy into this, right? And so this could be establishing a new family for some of you, new home location, or cultivating existing home and family matters in your life, and maybe even your health, right? Getting that connection with your body, getting your health in order. So should be plenty of opportunities for that. At least you're seeing what's possible with that. But the square from Saturn is saying, yeah, but we have to be patient, right? We have to take it slow. And that's the steady growth of this square. So both from the relationship side, but also in terms of this more expansive roots and foundational side is what is being both expansive, Jupiter's expansion, but then Saturn's also the limitation. And in the square, it does take that extra willingness to take things slow. All right, so that's going to be more so next week, but I did want to mention that because it is going to be within 1 degree orb pretty much all week long here. Now, like I said here on Thursday, your ruler will be shifting into Taurus, and there could be a bit of that healing energy too, in terms of where you're coming out of, I think, a much more deeper time, or more of a alone time kind of a situation, because the sextile from Chiron is suggesting that you guys are healing this week. So there could be an opportunity for that, maybe a bit of rejuvenation as a result of that, and that's sort of cultivating this now new beginning for you, and what will continue to be a new beginning with the next new moon in your first house, relating to self, relating to your goals, your aspirations, those kinds of matters. All right, so that's the about midweek time period. Then on Friday going into Saturday, in fact on Saturday is when we're going to have the full moon, and so over the weekend there is this, again, illumination of where you can continue to cultivate your work, your self-improvement, and your routine. Because the thing about the full moon is that it's a status check, right? And so we have the awareness, but it's also an area where we can see what's been working in this area. What's been working with your work over the past 6 months, with your health in this sense. This is about the self-improvement side to the health. And what's been working, what hasn't, what can you let go, maybe, so that you can continue to cultivate these things. Now, on the relationship side of it, because depending on your personal chart, it may pull either way here, but on the relationship side, if there's been anything new over the past 6 months relating to that, that can also be a status check, seeing what can be let go, what can be, what's working, what's not, what can be let go, and continue to cultivate those areas. Now, this is particularly involving this Mars because it is conjoining up to Mars very closely. All right, so this is relating to a lot of the reflection I think you're doing about independence in relationships, right? About the direct energy and assertiveness, perhaps, that kind of thing. So reflecting on that, but putting energy into it nonetheless, because again, it's not like a new moon. This is a high energy time. So it's good with observation and with presence, but to begin to cultivate and continue to implement these two areas that are key for you. And it is going to be, I do want to say, it is going to be opposing up to your ruler Venus. So it's really about balance here. All right, because I think there is a lot of focus on self here, but remembering that things are unfolding in a long-term sense and in an internal reflective sense with relationships. So it's balancing self with other, and understanding that, of course, we can't cultivate anything in life without relationships. And we can't cultivate relationships without a better understanding of ourselves. So it's a healthy balance, and that's really what the full moon's about. It's balancing those areas, and particularly when it's involving an opposition up to your ruler Venus like this. All right. Now, the last event of the week is going to be Mercury going direct. So if you've been reflecting over the past few weeks about this more deeper side of yourself where you can have more faith, maybe have more acceptance in your life, bit more of a detached perspective, that starts to move forward going into next week. And there could even be a sort of intuitive insight, maybe information coming through dreams or something over the weekend, shifting you into a new direction of understanding the importance of having a more detached and surrendering perspective to your life, which can be very tranquil, very peaceful, right? And can really bring about that more sensitive energy that is needed. All right, so Taurus, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.